My father was not around a lot because he was working top secret in the desert on UFO projects. And on the second hand, I was sent to live with my great-grandmother, who was a very powerful woman and had, you might want to say, spooky ways about her. I was raised in a household that had a lot of validity placed on the different types of dreaming that one can do. For about 15 years, I've been teaching a class called W51, Aliens, Psychics, and Ghosts, and it slowly became, in its first few years, a very popular course on campus.
Yeah, I have not recommended the class more than this class.
It fills up in about 20 seconds, and we've had as much as 140 students in there with a wait list of another 150. I'm even surprised at how the class has emerged as this class that's really about not just government conspiracies, that's always been a part of it, but also this debate right now that's taking place in the actual government that we live here in the United States under, which is the question of whether there's a deep state, like what do even presidents know, who has done research on UFOs, who is trying to get that information released. Then we don't just jump from aliens to psychics and ghosts. We've actually started to have a class that's about consciousness and about the history of sciences and what they do with immateriality.
It encourages me to question what I'm being taught in my STEM classes. It's like he also acknowledges that these things might be kind of hard to accept or believe at first, so you see him as more relatable because he's like, oh yeah, of course that wouldn't be true, but then slowly he convinces you that it might be true.
That is sort of my forte now. I'm either considered the professor paranormal, or I'm considered someone who teaches the borderlands of science.
He would constantly battle skepticism in a way that was really just like an interrogation. Like, why don't you believe that? Why do you think that? Why would you assume that?
I think that's something we've recently talked about a lot in classes, specifically STEM is there's so much this is the truth and you will learn the truth. And even being a musician, it's sort of this is the correct way to do this and this is how you're gonna do it. And this class sort of really challenges that and says well, what if you don't do that?
This is just a whole new way of thinking, and also stuff that at least I never ever thought about before. So I would recommend it. I would say it's really thought-provoking.
I think when students tell me their personal stories or come up to me after class and tell me that this is making them think about either their education at UCLA or education in the United States more generally, that is my favorite part of the class.